Hi, I'm Rachna. Welcome to Create Room Podcast. Today we have Ash Pasala with us. She's a communication coach. She gives courses and trainings for communication to people working in industries, companies, or individuals as well. She recently won the Entrepreneur of the Year award. So we are here to welcome her today and have a nice, cozy conversation with her. Hi, Ash.
Thank you so much, Rachna, for calling me here. I'm very happy, but I'm also very happy you got my name right. Ash Pasala it is. So that I'm very happy about.
It's a challenge to have a tough name. So what have people pronounced it as?
A lot. Let's keep it there.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Let's just start with
yes,
our
yes.
conversation.
Thank you so much.
So just I just wanted to start with knowing a little bit about you. Just tell us a little bit about who is Ash.
Thank you so much, Rachna, for calling me and giving me this opportunity. I was very surprised to get a call from you, and then I got intrigued how you got my contact and stuff like that. About myself, to start with the name Ash itself, my full name is Aishwarya, and I wanted to keep it in such a way that anybody can pronounce the word. And when I say anybody, I meant globally,
Yeah.
right? So it has to be simple and easy to pronounce. So I kept it Ash, which is one of the famous names in the country. So, and my surname is Pesala, which is also a little unique comparatively.
Yes.
So I thought this can be the brand name. So that's when Ash Pasala got formed. Yeah.
Okay. And tell me about your education, your work profile.
So as I told you, I am from Chennai, but 100% Chennai girl and 100% Telugu girl. Ancestrally, we are settled in Chennai, but
Okay.
my mom was very specific that we keep Telugu at home. So there's no talking Tamil, even though I can speak both languages comfortably. I upbringing was a very normal, conservative South Indian family, probably still is, and I had a very interesting upbringing because I had a beautiful childhood, amazing childhood, and I'm very happy and proud to say this because we come from a very close knit, extended family, which is still close even now. I'm very proud of this fact because I see this is dying as a concept, right? So we come from a family where we grew up in joint families with grandparents, cousins, uncle, aunt, all the time around you. So that was the beautiful part of my journey where you have been doing a lot of physical activity because so many kids around all the time. So that is how my childhood grew. And why I'm specifying this is because I've understood how much this can make a difference in your adulthood. And I studied in that time it's called matriculation, if you know about Chennai boards. And I did my education in Chennai again. Not from the background I'm doing right now. It was completely different, like a lot of us, right? Something different. But my post graduation was something I decided I have to do something different from what I did in my undergrads. So I did mass communication, which is more to do with media, social media. Oh, that time social media was not there. It was more into media journalism and stuff like that. Also learned a little bit about psychology. So that's where bits and pieces of psychology came into my life. And from there, I took a break and came to Bangalore. Right now, I live in Bangalore. So in Bangalore, I started my career with working with preschools. And that is the best experience I would ever say because I was not a teacher, I was into the counseling, sales part of it. And I am the person who stands at the gate to receive the child every day. Like, whatever is going on in the world, you are forced to smile. You can't put a straight face with a child, right? I had told this back then to someone. I'm like, you can't do anything. You just have to smile. So automatically you become happy, right? So and that's the best experience of my entire working experience, I would say. And from there, I took a lot of different journey in my corporates. From preschool, I went to team building activities, then edtech, startups, lot of varied thing, but primarily into sales training and counseling. So this was my learning and my experience, which I use till now, from taking a smile from a child to making an adult smile.
Incredible journey, I
Right.
must say. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's so endearing to hear that you had a good childhood, because we hear a lot of people complaining about my childhood was not good. So it's so nice that you had a joint family with all the cousins and all. So you founded this Talktune. I just wanted to ask, what was your mission and what's your vision behind this company?
Thank you so much, Rachna, for the acknowledgement of my childhood. It is true in what shapes you is your childhood. And that is something which I realized before I started Talktune. And the word Talktune has two meanings to it. It took a lot of time for me to get to this word. And one is tune your mind to get the right words while you talk. And second one is while you talk, there should be a tune like a music note because all of us love to hear music as much as we can. So, like the music note goes up and down, like you see the chords, the voice also should have that because the best instrument you can have is your vocal cord. So, why not use it in the right way, right? So, both together is called talk tune. And I have a very, one more thing I just remembered while I'm telling you is first time when I told this word, my son was sitting behind me in the two wheeler, picking up from school. So I decided the company name. It's called Talktune. And he heard it as Talk to You. I said, that works, both works.
Both work.
So I'm like, okay, the name is working in any ways. In fact, recently also somebody said, Talk to You. I'm like, also, yes. So the word is talk tune. The mission is very simple: chaos to clarity. Trying to want people to understand why it is important to work on your mind to get out of your chaotic things which are going on in a daily basis to reach the clarity so that you sound confident, you sound clear, people understand when you talk. And the vision is to make sure every voice in the world is heard and powerful, which comes through clarity. As simple as that. So I tell people tune your mind to tune your talk. So that's the mission.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
That's so deep.
Yes. A lot of work went into it. And I feel every company, when you start, you need to have a vision and mission because you need to know what are you doing, why are you doing. It's two different things. So
In long term, what is it that you're trying to
yes,
achieve,
yes,
right? Yeah,
yes,
that's,
exactly.
that's very insightful. Great.
Thank you so much.
The concept is amazing, Ash, I must say. So just I would like to ask that you talk about mental noise
Yes.
and how you can help people to get the absolute clarity, right? Especially in high stake situations where we usually get confused or we are spellbound or we get nervous when we are like sales pitch or public speaking situations like that, right? I just would like to know, how do I know that I have a mental noise and what do I do about it?
Mm-hmm. All right. A very simple question before I go to the answer to you. How often do you doubt yourself?
Once in a while, I'll say.
All right.
Yeah.
And when you have, as you mentioned, high stake
Yeah.
conversations or a sales conversation, in the conversation, before the conversation, do you keep questioning yourself? Am I doing right? Am I missing something? Am I prepared? Those kind of question comes into you?
Not really.
Or are you aware of someone who goes through these kind of things?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Some of the colleagues, yeah.
That's as simple
Because
as
they
that.
falter when they're talking,
Exactly.
right? And when somebody asks question, they are not very sure what the question was, right? So they answer something else, and you can figure out they're nervous about the whole situation.
So this is basically noise. As simple as that. But noise is much deeper concept. It starts from, as I was telling you the previous conversation, it starts from how you wake up in the morning. I have a client, we are working on public speaking, and he's an aspiring politician and all. So he came to me for public speaking, business communication, those kind of conversation. But you'll not believe one entire session just went out in understanding why his sleep patterns is affecting his time management. Because we went deeper and deeper. That's what happens during the sessions. And without a knowledge of understanding where it's going, sometimes it goes deeper with the permission of the client. So he started telling, I'm like, okay, let's start understanding time management. He said, my day is completely chaotic. That's also a sign. If you're not comfortable saying no, then you're chaotic because you don't know what you want or what you don't want. That is chaos. I can tell you even more simpler concept. Let's say if you go out with a friend or a known or unknown person, How many times you come across a person telling you that you order whatever you want, right? That's because the other person doesn't know what they want. That's chaos, right? I have told people, I'm like, see, even if you don't know what you want, the least you can order is French fries, which is available most of the places, right? So at least you look like a confident person if you want to try to impress the other person. You don't want to, give the entire control to the other person by telling, order anything you want. You're completely giving that option to that person. Now the person has unconsciously understood a lot about you. And this is all different types of chaos. From choosing your food to the right words to a client, everything is chaos. Every person's chaos is different. Some people have chaos because of lack of saying no. Some people have chaos because they have too many things going on that they don't know the priorities. Some people are trying to do multiple things at a time. Honestly, according to psychology, there's nothing called as multitasking. You do one thing and then switch off and go to the next thing, right? You can do multiple different things. One on, off, but not everything together. That's again a misconception with a lot of people. Now, there is one solution for this, specifically for high stake interactions. One simplest solution, but the most beautiful, important, and profound one is practicing. If you're going into a sales conversation, do a little bit research about the client. Practice what kind of questions can come. This is some work and effort you need to put in if you want to get the money from the client and impress the client, as simple as that. If you're going to public speaking, you need to practice your speech. And in fact, you'll not believe there is this practice lot of public speaking people do before they go on stage. Even a very famous person, there is an adrenaline rush. Everybody has that, right? Before that, different people do different kinds of activities. Some people do jumping jacks. Some people do squats. Some people do the adrenaline rush you need to bring your energy up and let go of the jitters.
Some do breathing also, I
Exactly.
feel, right?
So you
Box
do
breathing.
different kinds of calming methodologies, whichever works for you. If you are a person into physical activity, you do that. Some people bring themselves to the poise like 5 minutes before the interview or something like that. So different people practice different things. But you need to practice the script first. In fact, in sales, I can just add on one more thing. If you are in sales, anyone in sales, salesperson is no different than an actor. Any actor in the world you can take. They can't act without a script. So is a salesperson. You need to keep your script ready. You need to keep your pitch ready, whatever has to go to the client, and practice that. Because you are a different person when you're a salesperson. I have worked in sales for a long time. I know a lot of amazing salespeople. I've seen them on calls, on the floor, full high energy, right? And then I see them on the lunch, absolutely different people. I'm like, are you the same person? So it is so different. The moment they pick up the phone, they become like actors, no? You're a different personality completely because I need to get the conversion. I need to get my incentive, etc. And it goes everywhere when you're representing yourself. Tell me one place where you're not trying to sell, which is trying to convince someone. Either you're convincing with what you talk or what you wear, including convincing your own child to eat a food in the day, convincing probably your husband to make a weekend plan, or convincing your friend to come for a shopping or anything. So everywhere you're trying to convince 24 by 7, or convincing yourself to do something. You're convincing yourself, okay, I have been wanting to do this habit, I need to do, right? So there is convincing which is equal to sales. Sales is a very, weird word used right now, but honestly, everybody is just trying to convince either themselves or someone else or maybe your loved ones. So that's what it is. So if you want to sound less chaotic, more of clarity, practice your words, practice your pitch, practice your talk, whatever it is, please practice. And then your delivery becomes very clear.
So you're saying that all of us have mental noise. Everybody, each of us.
Depends on percentage of it. It is an on and off process. Sometimes you tend to have a lot of things. So second practice which I tell people all the time is write. Paper and pen, not any technology. Write down. If you have 10 things going in your head it might look very different. But when you write it on a paper or a book and look at it, you will start understanding that most of it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
If you write down any, even the 10 things which is running, and start, if you have 10 things, just see what are the 3 things which is in your control. And other 7 things might not technically be in your control, but you're still overthinking it. That is chaos.
Do you speak from your personal experience?
100%. A lot. Because as I told you, there was a huge dip, like any human being having dips. I have learned so much on how important it is to prioritize what is important at that point. I also go through a lot of chaotic phases. It's a normal human being thing. But the first thing I do is sit down and write it down. So I have like different levels of numbers of notebooks I use. Different notebooks for different processes. There's one for work, one for studying, one for my own mind, one for, just daily journaling kind of a thing. Journaling used to be a very big thing, no, when long time back, and I think now it's coming back because beautiful notebooks are being launched on that. So journaling is a very beautiful way to reduce your chaos. Very beautiful way to journal, and it's not necessary. It's okay you don't journal once in a while. So one more thing, what people do know, when you start practicing any habits, small things, you make yourself so hard on it. I have to journal even though my eyes are just closing. So what happens, you push so hard, eventually you'll give up. It's so draining, no, you'll give up. I'm like, it's okay if you don't write 2 days, who's going to ask you, right? Do it at your own pace. Don't be hard on yourself so much. And we do tend to be hard on ourselves.
That is true.
Because we're trying to conquer the world always.
Sab karna hai. We want to do everything.
We always want to conquer. For what? Nobody knows.
That was incredible, Ash. So you talk about mental noise and then to absolute clarity, right? Is internal alignment linked with that as well?
That's a slightly heavy conversation, because when you say alignment, it gets into a very different understanding and learning. It's very deep topic to actually to understand. It takes some time for people to understand that. So more than saying alignment, I would just say your words and your actions have to match. When you are saying someone that you would do it, you need to do it. If you don't give that promises also. It's also a clarity. Sometimes a lot of people tend to tell a lot about themselves, about their work. They talk like everything they know, right? But when you ask them to do some work or ask them that, can you help me with this or can you get this done, that's when you start understanding that, okay, that person is just talking. When it comes to work, he's not able to execute or she's not able to execute. So words have to match your actions, and your mind and your words should be in alignment, if that makes sense. So a lot of times when we're saying it, after we say it, we rethink, oh, shouldn't have told that. Or maybe I should have told this instead of that. That's because you're chaotic.
Just wanted to get a little clarity on what do you mean. Could you give one example about that?
Right. I think we spoke about food some time back. As simple as I think lately the new fancy is sugars, right? Everybody want it but don't want it. So sometimes you'll be like, okay, I'll just have it this time because you're eating. Or somebody else is telling you that, I can't eat the entire dessert, so you share with me. You don't want to say yes, so why do you say it? You can stick to your answer. You're not offending anybody here. You're making that person understand that I don't eat sugars. It's the same thing I tell people about alcohol. You don't ask a person, why are you drinking? But you ask a person, why you're not drinking. Why?
That's such a valid point. I think it happens to all of us.
Exactly. I think the same goes with veg and non-veg as well, right? Why you don't eat non-veg? I don't want to eat, I don't eat. So it's the same thing, right? And especially if I've learned in this one, right? You can't tell person that I don't want to drink today. They are not going to let go of you. And the easiest way is to I quit. Then you have no option to force the person to this one.
Or you can say, today is my fast, or I believe in
That
this
you
God.
have to
I
come
think,
up with answers like that.
excuse,
But why? Why are we making this up? We are trying to impress another person. or we are trying to not offend another person, right? So that is also again something where you are confused. Am I being rude to them? Am I being offending? So you are confused in your mind to say yes or no. Instead of saying yes or no, you're making up a answer. That's something which is going to, how long can you do it? If you're meeting someone on a regular basis, how long can you make this up?
True.
Right? So rather either say no or yes. If it's something which can be offending to the other person, make them understand. Explain yourself. This is communication. Basic. And trust me, Rachna, most of the relationships are failing because of communication. And not that other person is what you're talking in a conversation. It's more about not able to communicate what you want. I want this, I don't want this, what's my boundaries, what is something I can accept, not accept. This is making or breaking a situation. It can be the relationship from the youngest person to the oldest person in your life. You'll not believe my recent learning, probably less than a year, I would say. I started working on my relationship with my parents. Trust me, most of us have challenge with relationship with our parents. You can be in any age group. We always have a relationship challenges happening, right? One of the common thing is you don't understand me or you don't listen to me. That's something we tell our parents or we expect our parents to listen, right? But one of the things you need to start accepting is, have you told your parents what you do and don't you? You'll not believe, I'll give you a real example of my own self. This is when I understood how much I have grown myself in the relationship with my father. As I told you, I come from a very conservative South Indian family and all those things. So, all these so called bad habits of drinking, smoking, everything, which I don't go by the term as well, um, is one time he called me, he had a conversation recently. He's like, I heard you started partying, you started drinking, da da da, and all those things. I'm like, okay, that's a statement. What's the question?
Your father asked you?
In the phone call. I listened to him completely. I'm like, Papa, you're giving statement. What is the question? He's like, are you drinking? I said, no. I quit long back. I don't. He's like, oh, okay. And then he didn't know what to answer. And then I'm like, what do you expect me not to go out? He's like, no, no, go for dinner and all. Please go. I'm like, Papa, in Bangalore, every restaurant serves alcohol. And the irony was, he was with me a month back in Bangalore, and we had gone to eat pizza with kids, grandchildren, everybody there. And he had a small drink. I'm like, we were eating pizza, and you had a drink. So every restaurant serves alcohol doesn't mean that I'm drinking, or doesn't mean that everybody is drinking, right? It's just the culture. So once I started explaining these things to him, he started listening to me. And I'm like, so you expect me not to go out? He's like, no, no, go out with your friends, go for dinner and everywhere. Exactly, I do that. And also I gave him a culture shock. I'm like, see, even if you go party, no, SNI ki, like they show in movies, no, people come and fall on you. Nothing happens like that. We go as friends, we sit down, we talk, we come. That's all we do. So slowly I was educating him about what's the reality of life, right? And this happened because I started accepting the way they are. I started making this basic relationship of accepting, okay, why am I trying to change them? Why am I trying to make them understand my life, which is so contrast for them? And once I started working with them, my relationship has become so beautiful with them right now. I don't bother if I'm calling, if I'm picking up a call at even 11 o'clock in the night, if I have to tell my father I'm out, I am out. Please accept it. I am out. And I'm telling it to you. I'm out. So they don't have to think another 100 things, what she's doing, what she's not doing. Is she safe? Is she this, that? That doesn't happen anymore.
So you think there can be situations where the parents will not be so open-minded and accepting about that fact?
Yes, which is my parents as well. But slowly, the education of teaching them what my life is has started. That's what I meant. The communication is, we need to start explaining to people what kind of people we are. Now, one of the standard, fear for any parent is safety. Being a girl, another thing as well, safety, right? I have told my parents, I'm like, see, if I am with no one, if I'm alone, obviously I'm even more careful. I am not in an age where I'm going to do something really careless. I'm only talking about myself. I am going to be extremely careful of what I'm doing. I'm not going to fall into any unnecessary problems, right? I'm going to be very careful. And sometimes I keep reminding my parents, I have a child. I am a mother of a 13-year-old, so don't forget that. So I'm not going to do anything weird because forget you, I need to answer my child, right? So that is something which happens. And Rachna, why I was telling this example is once you start learning how to communicate with your own parents, your own blood, it gets easier to communicate to the outsider.
So it can help you in professional life as well.
Professional, your partners, your friends, your new people you meet. If you start learning where to put your foot down, I'm not saying be harsh, be rude. No, that's absolutely not what I'm trying to tell. I'm trying to tell be patient in explaining yourself to people. And one more beautiful thing what happens is when we are talking, I'm explaining something to you, I am having a preconceived notion that you already know about it. Or how can you not know about it?
Oh.
I have a preconceived thing, let's say most basic thing I'm talking about. I have a preconceived notion that you should be knowing about it. And if you don't know about it, I'm like, how can you just not know about it? It's so simple. It is simple for me, not for you, right? And I'm telling this because I'm a person who loves to travel. I travel on work and on personal. I've traveled around the world. And I travel to talk to locals. I travel to know the culture of the locals. And I travel to understand what is their lifestyle, food, everything. If I can tell you, the food and your language can change your way you think about your life.
Can you elaborate a little bit?
I'll give you a simple example. I think one of the most famous one which we all probably talk about in India is we know there is a particular slang used in Delhi. The way they speak, words they use is like that. So the atmosphere of Delhi culture is very fast paced and very harsh. People are very harsh there, right? And I'm just talking about the general perspective, not naming anything about Delhiites, general. But if when you go to a little bit south, people are a little bit more calmer. Even in Tamil Nadu, I'll tell you, I come from Tamil Nadu. So there is this place called Madurai and there is this place called Tirunelveli. Okay, both are Tamil Nadu, both are Tamil speaking language, but Madurai Tamil is very straightforward, very direct. So they sound harsher. And when you switch to Tirunelveli, very soft spoken people, very respectful, very calmer, quieter, and all those things. The entire atmosphere changes. So the way your language resonates your behaviors. And this is a study. Your food also resonates your behavior because of the spice. Spice can also make the same thing. So this I have learnt in traveling as well. People, again in Europe, because there are so many countries there, I was going on road, driving down. We were crossing countries from France to Italy. France the language is very beautiful, soft language, right? Even they scold, it sounds very beautiful. So that was happening. And then I was driving down to Italy and we were on maps, obviously. We were figuring it out. And somewhere I'm just stuck. Like I'm driving around, I'm just figuring out and I'm just getting bad words coming out from in Italy. They're screaming, yelling, okay? And I'm like, what? When I stopped in France, you were all fine. When I stop in Italy, it's different. Right? My experience, like. But again, in regions of Italy also is different. A lot of people have told me Italian people are very soft spoken. So it is different regions again. So the language can tell a lot about your upbringing. Food can tell a lot about your upbringing. And last one is my favorite, but not very highly accepted, is our belief system. Belief system is equal to conditioning on. So according to psychology, if you have a very strong belief about any concept, you try to find facts and proofs to make it right, but not necessarily. So once you break that pattern, you will see growth. And growth is where you will start seeing, once you start rewiring your words in your mind, because of the belief system, we use the same words again and again to ourselves. I think a lot happens for women. Guilt. one guilt factor is always in back of our head, especially mothers, right? You're always thinking something, I'm not doing enough for my child, I'm not able to be the best mother in the world. Nobody is the best mother in the world. Nobody can be. You're still human. You can't be the best mother as far as you are. For your child, you are. According to your child, you are the best mother in the world. But as a mother, we are never happy about it. That comes from the belief system because, as I told you before, we are always trying to conquer.
I think every mother is guilty of what you're saying, the conditioning, but it's very difficult to, first of all, understand. And then what do we do about it, right?
Correct.
So I think you have a workshop coming up about
Yes,
that
yes,
same
yes,
concept. Can you
yes.
tell me a little more about that and what can be the takeaways for that?
Yes, I do have a workshop coming up on Mother's Day, which is on May 10th. A Sunday. I'm keeping it very easy for mothers. Also, the timing is 3 to 6, so you can finish all your mommy duties, probably partner duties, wife duties, and then peacefully come for the workshop. Have a workshop which is specifically called Identity Beyond Mom. Now, this entire curation of this workshop itself, I felt it's the most required and the important workshop for every mother right now, because this is something which I started getting a lot during my workshops as well, where a lot of mothers are having this identity crisis, where they're trying to understand, what am I? If somebody is not calling me mom, what else am I? You're working, you're not working, different. That's not something which is satisfying them. So, this workshop is based on trying to identify mothers' challenges, issues, or whatever questions they have about themselves in figuring out what they want to identify themselves. It can be, even if you're happy to be a homemaker, yes, but are you happy with it? Do you want to be called as somebody known for classical dancing? Somebody known for amazing cooking? Not that you need to start a business of that, but how do you represent yourself in that way? That is the workshop curated around. And it's a 2 hour workshop with some networking. You can probably find some friends there because all moms are in the same, pace of it. And the workshop is also not something I'm going to lecture you. I'm not going to tell you what to do, what not to do. Rather, we're going to do activities in a way where you start realizing what is it which is troubling you, or what is it you want to do or you don't want to do anymore. So there are games, activities, a few things where you will take home, where you'll start practicing some things to start getting into the learning of identification. It's not that in a 2 hour workshop you'll figure out, okay, I want to become this. That's never going to happen. And if you want to start making an identity for yourself, you need to do these practices on regular basis to hit a spot on that.
So there are any prerequisites for this workshop?
Absolutely not. As
Okay.
far as a mother is accepting it to come out of their space, and this is also why I'm telling is because a lot of times we just rub it off, or we're like, okay, it's fine. Why should I need identity? I am a mother. I'm happy to be a mother. Of course, you're happy to be a mother. That's why you are one. 100%. You are also the best mother in the world. I can guarantee that. But are you having that all the time thought process is that if you have that small break in a day, let's say your children have gone to school, maybe they've gone to some classes, whatever it is, even not classes, after one age, they might be doing their things by themselves, right? So mothers will start feeling void. And when you feel that void, you need to start figuring out, how do I occupy myself without being dependent on other people?
Or without feeling the guilt?
Absolutely. So great that you bought the word guilt, because that's one thing all mothers carry, almost like a rock in our head forever. Unless you start working on it, you start breaking the pattern, that why am I feeling guilty? Am I actually guilty, or somebody else is giving me that guilt? 90% it's always from the outside, right? There are so many things which people put in your head where you're not even thinking about it. It can be even, what you fed your child or didn't feed your child. And social media is also another thing to give you as much as guilt as possible, unfortunately. There are good things in social media. I'm not saying social media is bad, but there are good and bad to it. You need to know what you want to observe and consume. And same thing goes with your peers. What kind of peers you have around you? Are they supporting your growth? Or are they questioning everything you do? This makes a huge difference. And when I'm talking about this, I'm not talking just for mothers, I'm talking for everyone. If you're talking about, personal identity crisis is not just for moms, it is bigger for moms, I would say. But every person is going through a personal identity crisis. In fact, one of the things which I do with clients is, uh, one is personal clarity and other is professional clarity. I have senior leaders working with me. As much as they're in a very good position, amazing companies, they don't feel connected to it.
To their role?
Yes. Or they're like, I've been doing this for 20 years and I don't know what am I doing in the right path. Am I doing it because I'm trying to survive? There is two difference from survival mode and living. And
So you're saying that guilt can be in any aspect of the life.
yes,
So the
yes.
workshop you're doing is, how do I know that I need this workshop?
First space, I will be very happy if mothers come out and try something new. Because a lot of times I have personally seen mothers taking that step of doing something for themselves, very importantly. We might step out to a mall and buy 10,000 rupees worth beauty care, but we wouldn't invest even 5,000 rupees for our own personal growth.
Or mental health?
Mental health, very importantly. Again, the word mental health is kind of a taboo because you can't go and tell anyone that I don't feel good, I feel low. So, one of the things what happens is when you're feeling low, you start feeling guilty. I'm not able to, take care of my child. I'm not able to be happy around him. I'm feeling low. It's okay. Your child can understand you, and your child is the best partner you can have once you start expressing to your child. And I tell this small, simple, very profound practice which I started doing with my child. When I started, I didn't know the reverse effect of what it gave me for the child. So, one practice I tell every mother is take your child and go out somewhere and sit with your child. No disturbance, no technology. Sit with them and speak. And when you speak, I also tell one more thing to the mother, don't expect them to speak. You start expressing yourself. Once you start expressing, slowly the child will start expressing. And again, second thing, what a lot of times mothers do is, as when I ask this to mothers, do you have a conversation with your child? It's like, yeah, I speak to my child a lot. Do you speak to your child or do you give advice to your child? Both are different. Mostly we are giving advice, or mostly we are telling, do this, don't do this, why you did this, etc. No, that's not a conversation. That's probably a command or telling what to do, what not to do. Conversation is listening their side of the story. It's a two-way. Conversation is always two-way, right? Is that happening? Something you need to know. Again, this is can be plugged in, plug out with any relationship in your life. Am I the only person talking in this equation, or is there both inflow and outflow of conversation? Right? So, this is all some things where slow understanding of what's going right or wrong around you. It can be with your parents, your partners, your friends, your colleagues, your boss, your children, everyone. Start noticing small things about, is the person comfortable to express to me? Am I giving that space? If that's not happening, why am I not doing it? Why are people not talking and why am I talking more? And trust me, it's very difficult
I'm
because
sure
everybody
it
loves
is.
to talk.
Absolutely.
Everybody loves to have the spotlight,
True.
right? And just to add on one more point to this is, mothers like to have their spotlight. The highest recognition they want is from the child, right?
Validation.
Validation, recognition they want from the child. But how will the child know? Unless you tell the child.
If there's no communication.
If you don't tell the child what you want, how will the child respond? So I started doing this when I cook something for my son and I give it to him. He's eating and he doesn't respond. He doesn't say anything. I'll just stand next to him. It's like, what, mama? Tell something. You're eating. It's like, it's nice. It's always nice. Nuh-uh. Give me a specific word. So I'm giving him the practice. Acknowledgement is important. Start with me. Then it will become a practice with everyone you are around. It's like, why I should tell you? What is there? You only know. No, Baba. It starts from home. Thank you starts from home. I love you starts from home. And any acknowledgement starts from home. You practice at home and then you automatically tell outsiders, right? I keep asking people, how many times have you told thank you to your loved ones? I've asked men also this. How many
Wow.
times do you say thank you to your wife? No, you don't, right? Or you will be like, oh, she's just my wife. Yeah, she's doing it. What she's been doing it forever. Tell thank you once and see. You'll see the difference.
Especially, I think in India, we are not taught to express ourselves very,
Absolutely.
very openly. And I'm so happy to see your bond, with your
Thank you.
son. It's very inspiring, although
Thank you so
he's
much.
very young, but the kind of bond you share with him. When you talk about guilt, I just want to ask one simple question. What do I do when people around me are making me feel guilty as a mother for some doing or not doing something? What do I do? How do I handle that?
One is I want you to have a clarity of what kind of a child you want. For example, some parents are very specific. They want child to be academically performing, right? Very good for you. If you are very clear, you think your child needs that, you want the child to have it, have it. But also in the same point, I will be like, is the child aligned with you? You want the child to have 90%. What does the child want? It's okay to accept what the child wants. It's not your life. It is their life. They need to grow into it. And second thing is, the more you force your belief system into your younger ones, it's difficult. And it reverse, it becomes guilt. Oh, whatever I tell, they don't listen to me. They don't do what I'm telling them to do. And there's another example I tell in this also is, if you want the child to listen to you, you first need to listen to your child. A lot of times what happens when we are working or maybe cooking, whatever, you're maybe occupied with something, the child will come and say, Mama, I want to say something to you, or Papa, I want to say something. Both parents I'm talking about. If we are occupied, we'll be like, I will talk to you later. But do you talk to the child later? I don't know how many do that, right?
Maybe, maybe
It is
not.
questionable.
True.
That is where the question of not listening comes to. The more you listen to your child, the more you'll understand what the child wants and doesn't want. And it is time for the parents to start accepting, changing your belief system, changing your wants and dislikes and likes on your child. I want the child to get 90%. Doesn't work that way. What the child wants is they are academically interested or probably in sports or music or whatever it is. Make them learn. And the guilt part, coming back to the point, if you are very clear about what your child is doing and not doing, you can talk to the world. Yeah, I'm fine with it. If the mother is going to tell, I'm very fine if my child is getting 70%, what is the other person respond? You don't have a response on that. If the parents are confident on what their child are, nobody can guilt trip you. So please be confident what your child is, what your child want to become, and support your child in whatever they want to become. It's okay to not do the stereotype. It's okay to go a little different. I'm very sure that what we were thinking
Yeah.
we will do and what we are doing is absolutely different. And the world is, nobody knows where it's going. We have come from, I think, what, tape recorder to AI now. So let's keep our mind open what's coming in the world. So yeah,
Absolutely. So this reminds me of a quote that says, "Nobody can make you feel guilty without your permission."
absolutely.
So that just sums it up. So this was beautiful. I just want to ask you one last question. If I want to enroll for the workshop, how do I do that? And also, you take a lot of sessions,
Yes.
one-on-one sessions. So I just would like to know if somebody wants to reach out to you, what is the best way?
The first question, workshop is very simple. There is just one link which is going to be added. Let's probably add it in the video as well. Is you click the link, you just make the payment and a simple form to fill up just for the database. And it's happening again, just to emphasize, it's happening in HSR layout. It's happening on May 10th, Sunday at 3 p.m. So please come to learn something new, make new friends probably, and enjoy some good food and have a good feeling Sunday on your Mother's Day. Some small gift you can give to yourself instead of wanting from anybody else as a mother. You earned to gift yourself whatever you want to. So I tell all the mothers, this can be something which can be a huge learning for you, something a takeaway of what you can become more than what you think you are. And how you can reach me is very simple. There are 2 3 different ways of reaching me. I have my own website. It's called ashpasala.com. And you can reach me on the same name in LinkedIn and on Instagram. So as simple as that. So I do one-to-one session primarily for individuals on personal clarity, and if people are working or businessmen or businesswomen, I work with professional clarity, which is more into business communication, sales, networking. Personal clarity will be more working towards the self-doubt, public speaking, internal communication, the chaos to clarity one. That happens both sides. But if you want to focus more on your personal clarity, we do that. Or you work on your professional clarity, work on that. And one last thing I do is organizational clarity, which is group sessions for corporates. I think this is also one most important one because everything is changing in the world. And corporates are facing huge changes right now, from Gen Z entering the market to AI entering the world. People are very confused. They feel very chaotic on handling both human new generation and technology new generation. So I do this as well. So yeah, ashpasala.com.
Ash, this session was so insightful. And as a mother, I'm a mother myself, so I can feel the guilt that I have had throughout my life. And I really wish there was someone to tell me at that time. But I'm glad you're doing this workshop, and I'm sure a lot of mothers are going to benefit from this. So I request mothers to just come out of their shell. Don't worry too much about it.
Right.
Don't overthink. It's going to be very helpful. So I'd request the mothers attend this workshop. So I'm looking forward to meet you soon on Mother's Day.
Thank you so much.
And let's rock it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.